General Motors has halted all production at its CAMI assembly plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, sending shockwaves through the local community and the broader Canadian auto industry. The plant, which had been dedicated to building BrightDrop electric delivery vans, now sits idle, its once busy assembly lines brought to a standstill. This abrupt halt marks a dramatic reversal for a facility that was, not long ago, at the heart of Canada's push into electric vehicle manufacturing. Just a few years back, the CAMI plant was celebrated as a beacon of hope and innovation, a symbol of Canada's electric vehicle ambitions, and a testament to the country's commitment to a greener future. GM Canada's president, Christian Aquilina, explained that the decision to halt production was driven by market realities, not by trade disputes or political pressures. But for the hundreds of workers and their families, the reasons behind the shutdown offered little comfort. The factory, going dark, meant lost jobs, broken promises, and a community left in limbo. The shutdown didn't happen overnight. It followed months of production slowdowns, temporary layoffs, and growing uncertainty about the plant's future. What started as a temporary pause in production soon escalated into a complete and indefinite stop, leaving unfinished vehicles on the line and workers without answers. GM eventually admitted that sales of the BrightDrop vans were far below expectations, with unsold vehicles piling up in lots outside the factory, a stark visual of the challenges facing the electric vehicle market. For employees, the business logic behind the decision did little to ease their anxiety. Many now face an uncertain future, unsure if or when the plant might reopen, or if new opportunities will arise. Not long ago, CAMI was the focus of major government investment, with hundreds of millions of public dollars spent to retool the plant for electric vehicle production. It was hailed as a cornerstone of Canada's green economy. Now, the locked gates and empty factory floors serve as a sobering reminder of just how volatile and unpredictable the electric vehicle market can be, even for industry giants like GM. The shutdown exposes the risks automakers face when trying to predict demand for new technology, and the very real human cost when those predictions fall short. Families are left to grapple with lost income and an uncertain path forward. CAMI was supposed to be a story of transformation, a legacy plant pivoting boldly to the technology of tomorrow, setting an example for the entire industry. Instead, the sudden halt in production has upended that narrative, raising tough questions about corporate commitments, government investments, and the long-term stability of the auto industry in Canada. For the town of Ingersoll, the silence echoing from the factory floor is more than just the absence of machinery. It's a painful symbol of a future put on hold and dreams deferred. Now the community is left to pick up the pieces and wonder what comes next, hoping for answers in a new chapter that will restore hope and opportunity. The CAMI shutdown is a human tragedy for Ingersoll and its people. Over 1,000 jobs vanished, shattering the financial security of families who depended on the plant for their livelihoods. Severance packages offer little comfort against the uncertainty of long-term unemployment and the unknown future. The closure ripples through the local economy, threatening small businesses and deepening hardship for everyone. For decades, CAMI was the town's economic engine and source of pride. Now anxiety and a sense of betrayal hang over the community. Workers who adapted to new EV production feel their loyalty was not valued or rewarded. Families face tough choices, stay in hope, or leave in search of work and stability elsewhere. The closure isn't just economic, it tears at the fabric of a proud manufacturing town. GM's core reason for shuttering CAMI's electric vehicle line was simple and direct. The BrightDrop electric vans simply weren't selling, despite initial optimism and significant investment. In total, only about 2,000 vans were sold, far below the volume needed to keep the massive plant running efficiently or profitably. The commercial EV market turned out to be much tougher than expected, with fleet operators hesitant due to high upfront costs, range anxiety, and the lack of widespread charging infrastructure. Automakers everywhere are learning a hard lesson. Building an electric vehicle isn't enough. Success depends on perfect timing, competitive pricing, and features that truly fit what buyers and businesses actually need. The BrightDrop story stands as a cautionary tale about misreading the market and overestimating demand for new technology. Across the auto industry, companies are now recalibrating their EV strategies, rethinking how to approach commercial buyers and adapt to real-world challenges. The commercial van segment in particular remains a tough sell, as many businesses stick with tried-and-true gasoline models for reliability and convenience. GM's experience at CAMI shows that the EV revolution may be slower and bumpier than many had hoped, with real-world adoption lagging behind bold predictions. The CAMI closure has put government investments under the microscope. Ottawa and Ontario poured over $500 million into retooling the plant, hoping to secure jobs and a green future. Now politicians face tough questions about whether public money was well spent. They're reviewing contracts, seeking ways to claw back funds and hold GM accountable. Critics argue these deals give too much power to corporations, with few guarantees for workers. The closure is fueling calls for tougher job guarantees and smarter public investment strategies. The lesson: writing a check isn't enough to secure Canada's manufacturing future. A new, more strategic approach is needed to protect jobs and communities. Unifor, the union representing workers at the CAMI plant, called GM's decision to close the facility a deep betrayal of its workforce and the surrounding community. The announcement sent shockwaves through the plant, leaving many families anxious about their future and the stability of their livelihoods. In response, Unifor demanded immediate action from GM and government officials. They are urging the company to assign a new product to the plant, hoping to secure jobs and keep the factory running. The union is also calling for a comprehensive national auto strategy to protect Canadian manufacturing jobs in the long term. However, Unifor's own strategy is now under intense scrutiny. Despite years of close collaboration with both management and government, these efforts failed to guarantee job security for workers. The 2021 contract, which was meant to provide stability, instead gave GM the flexibility to lay off employees as demand for vehicles dropped, leaving many workers vulnerable and uncertain. This has left employees feeling powerless and frustrated. Critics argue that the union's partnership model with management did not do enough to protect its members from layoffs and plant closures. Now, some voices within the union are calling for a more independent, even adversarial, approach to negotiations and advocacy. They are also urging greater solidarity with auto workers across North America, believing that a united front is essential in today's globalized auto industry. The CAMI closure stands as a stark wake-up call for the entire labor movement, highlighting that old strategies may no longer be enough to protect workers in an increasingly ruthless and competitive global market. CAMI's shutdown is part of a larger crisis in Canada's auto sector. The industry is in the midst of a costly, risky shift to electric vehicles. Deep ties to the US make Canadian plants vulnerable to trade politics and protectionism. Global competition is fierce, pressuring wages and working conditions. Recent setbacks, including Stellantis shifting production to the US, have deepened anxiety. Without a strong national plan, Canada risks losing its manufacturing base. The industry that once built Ontario's middle class is now on shaky ground. The closure of a modern, retooled plant like CAMI sends a chilling message: no facility is truly safe. Canada must act decisively to secure its auto future. With BrightDrop production halted, CAMI's future is uncertain. GM says it's exploring options, but offers no concrete plans. The top priority for unions and government: secure a new product mandate for the plant. Negotiations are underway, but competition for new models is fierce. Meanwhile, the plant sits idle, its skilled workforce at risk of scattering. Severance packages are a temporary fix, not a solution. The economic health of Ingersoll depends on reopening the plant with a viable plan. This crisis has forced Canada to confront its auto strategy vulnerabilities. The fight for CAMI is a test of national resolve. The story isn't over. There's still a chance to turn loss into renewal.